Apologize for not able to bring you lunch break yesterday, but I promise you I'm going to make it up. But I hope that you're able to read my article like I shared in the morning. And then today I completed my 3-part series on the 10 ways to see that your relationship, is heading for the rocks, or it will definitely end in tears. And I hope you've really learned something. I hope that you when you go through it and you see some of these signs, you would advise yourself, because really you are better than you think you are, and you're more valuable than you think you are. And if at this point you are deriving your value from another person, that means you're very dependent on them. And when that is not there, that's when you tend to do too many things and then compromise too many times, and eventually you lose yourself, you lose your sanity, and then if you're not fortunate, you probably will lose your life. It is a statistical fact that a lot of the mental problems that women have come from relationships that have gone bad and how men have treated them. When you go to the psychiatric hospital and you listen to the stories of the women that are there, most of them are there because of one challenge with a relationship or the other. And because women are very invested in the things that they say they love. And when you put in so much and you get almost nothing back, it can mess up with your brain, it can mess up with your life, it can mess up with your career, your business, and everything. So then if you say you are in love, if you say you are in a relationship or in a marriage, make sure that you're looking out for yourself in a way that does not get you to overly compromise. And that's why today I want us to talk about deal breakers and compromises in relationships. Are you ready for this conversation? Because I don't want it to be just me talking. I want it to be something that we discuss. So if you end up being on this live, and today is Friday, Friday we talk about love, relationships, and marriages. And I'm hoping that today, as part of our discussions, you're going to contribute, you're going to share your comments, you're going to ask questions, and then we'll be able to enrich the conversation for all of us on this live and then after. Okay, we are talking about deal breakers and compromises in relationships. And it's a tricky thing. Personally, I don't think that marriages and relationships are the same, even though some people treat them as if they're the same. Relationships are just a medium through which you're getting to know someone enough to decide whether you want to spend the rest of your life with them. It's not something that you have to put in so much investment of time, of resources, and at the end, when it doesn't go well, you feel like you've been taken for granted and you didn't get the the value, or you didn't get in return how much you put in, and aside somebody has deceived you or somebody has hurt you or broken your heart or something like that. I think for whatever relationship you end up in, you should see it as a win-win. So even if it doesn't go well, you still got something out of it. And if you realize that you're not getting out of it in the first place, how do you end up deciding that this person is going to be a boyfriend or a girlfriend or even a fiancé or a fiance, or however we choose to call them? Because from the onset, even as ordinary friends, if you're not seeing indications of some of the things that you would appreciate in a relationship, how do you end up in as a boyfriend or girlfriend or in a relationship? And if even in the relationship you are still not seeing some of the things that you consider value add in a relationship, why do you continue to be in it? And at the end, you make it look as if you've been taken for granted, or you've been cheated out of something. I think it's a win-win thing, and if it doesn't go well, you gave it your best shot, it didn't work, and then you just move on. All right, welcome Priska. So earlier I asked my lady friends, what deal breakers are for them in relationships. All right, and we had some interesting comments. We're still getting some comments, and I'm going to share some with you. Interesting comments that my ladies shared about what deal breakers is for them in relationship. So I'm going to start off with the latest comment, which is from Aisha. Aisha says, if I catch you in a lie, we are done. So as long as she doesn't catch you, we are still on, you know. So Aisha's deal breaker is just that one lie. I mean, when she catches you, that's it for her. All right, she doesn't compromise at all. Adam says lack of respect. Lack of respect. And if you read my articles and listened to me on Friday, I always tell you that respect for me is even more valuable than love, you know, because love, you know, goes in and comes out. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's just you know, and like I said, love is a decision you make, you know, and it's demonstrated through giving, and those are choices that you have. But when you decide to respect someone, it reflects in how you treat them, how you talk to them, how you see them, you know, how much attention you give to them, and that's all as a result of respect. Because if you don't respect somebody, what happens is that you don't tend to put them in a category that enables them to deserve or to be deserving of your time, attention, patience, love, tolerance, and all those things, you know. So respect is a big deal, and for Edem, that is her deal breaker. All right, and deal breakers normally are the things that people will not compromise on, and when they see it, they leave, or they don't decide to get into a relationship. All right, Doris Dede Donko says, and this is an interesting one: no kids before marriage, no alcohol, no smoking. It's a very interesting one because, well, I think it's a decision that people can make as to whether, you know, they want to have kids, or they want to have people that have kids, or they want to have people that don't have kids. And I was asking, is she saying that she's not going to be with someone that has kids, or she's not going to be with someone that, I don't know. I asked her to give me more explanation. Is it that when she finds out that a person has kids, it's done, the relationship is over? Or is it that when the person has kids, when they are dating her? Like, what is it? I need to know. So please, Doris, come back and then let me know. Is it that you start dating the person and the person goes to have kids, and because of that you don't want to be with them anymore, or you wouldn't date somebody that has kids? Okay, so please let me know, and then we can use that to have further discussions. All right, so Afi says inconsistency, lies, and lack of care. Inconsistency, lies, and lack of care, and for her, that's her deal breaker. And this is very particular because you don't start something you cannot sustain. You see, sometimes in our bid to land the jackpot, land a great woman, land somebody that we've always loved, wished for, and probably never gotten, we tend to go above and beyond. And you see, women get used to a certain treatment, and if you're not consistent with that treatment, they use that inconsistency as a reflection of reasons why they can't trust you. All right, so when you start something and you're not able to continue, they project it into the future and say that if I cannot trust you to even continue this, how do I trust you to do more? Okay, so that's why for men, we ask you all the time, take your time when you are trying to woo a woman, or when you're trying to, you know, express how much you love and care about someone, or when you're trying to get a girlfriend or, you know, a wife. Don't go above and beyond, because they will get used to it, and when they get used to it, they expect it, and when they are expectant of it and you don't deliver, then to them you're not being authentic enough, and you've given them reasons to doubt who you are or to trust you. All right, so inconsistency is such a big deal, and sometimes it comes from a good place for the men. They really do want to show you how much they love you, how much they want you, and they tend to do things that they cannot naturally sustain, maybe because they don't have the finances to do that, or they don't have, you know, the capacity to even do that. But in the initial stages, they tend to do a lot. They are always there. They're always picking the phone. They spend hours with you. They come visit. They pick you up. They drop you. They have dates nights and all those nice things that you like. Especially if you've indicated that these are things that you like. They want to keep going. But you see, the moment you accept, it's like preparing before exams. After you've written the exams, why do you need to still prepare? That's how it is when a man is giving such a tough time, or when a man is going overboard with trying to impress you. And for them, the reward of all that they've done is in you saying yes to their proposal. So then after the proposal, it's like they've really worked. So then they don't want to put themselves in a position where they will have to continue working. It's like they've justified their inclusion, and now that they're included, why would they want to keep justifying? That's what is in men's heads. But for women, I don't think it's the same. I think that they just get used to a certain kind of treatment, and they would want that kind of treatment to continue. So inconsistency of behavior, inconsistency of words, inconsistency of actions and all that is such a big deal breaker, not just for Afi, but a lot of the women that commented. So yeah, well, Nana Araba, one of my very faithful followers, decided to go all poetic justice on me. I mean, she was so inability to forsake all others in our love web, unwillingness to change in the school of marriage, and consistently disregarding the principles governing marriage. Hey, so for Nanaraba, she's talking about inability to forsake all others whilst you are with her. You know, you see, the whole point of being in a relationship or choosing someone that you would call a partner or a wife is that you are deciding to forsake all others. So for her, if you choose to continue not forsaking all others, then she doesn't see why she has to be with you. And it goes on with Elipim. She says lack of trust, and for her, that's her number one. Nobody has time to be second guessing and doubting anybody. So for her, as long as there are indications that you can't be trusted, she doesn't waste her time. She just moves on. Because you see, in the absence of trust, the challenge is what else is there? Because if you can't trust someone, even when they are doing the right things, or even when they are doing good things, you still think there is an angle to it. You know, like there's always a plot, there's always something behind everything they do. You know, there's always a motive, because you can't trust them. So then even if they are genuinely being good, you still at the back of your mind feel that there's something to it, and you only just have to wait for it. So then you don't necessarily give it your all, because you're almost always looking out for, okay, what is the twist? What is the, you know, the lie in this? What is, you know, the angle to this? So it is a very big deal breaker, not just for her, but I think for quite a number of people as well, because Francisca also said inconsistency and lies. And then Naomi said ignoring me. All right, ignoring me. And I think I commented that, why would anybody call you their woman and not make time for you? I mean, I don't get that. You know, why would they call you their woman and not make time for you? I mean, how busy can they get? How busy can they get? You have 24 hours in a day. And if you really do love this woman that you say you love, it's impossible to go through an entire day consistently not stopping to think about her, not stopping to text her, not stopping to call her. Then, I mean, like I said, you know, some people do so much work to the point where they feel that they've won a trophy, so there's no more work to be done after you've said yes. And that's where the challenge is. And I think sometimes, instead of just reacting to their inconsistency, just have a conversation with them. Because some men, especially for those that struggle to really get the woman, feel that the work was in getting the woman, and now that you've gotten the, and it is worse in marriage, because after the marriage is done, that's it. They don't work anymore. They don't put in effort to impress you anymore. They just start showing their real characters, you know. So for me, it baffles me a bit to think that, yes, occasionally, depending on the demands on you or work, it may escape you, but honestly, it's difficult for me to understand that it's possible for people to forget people they say they love throughout 24 hours or even on a consistent basis. So yeah, I mean, ignoring someone is only saying that you have found somebody you're paying attention to, or you're not into the person the way you were at the beginning, or you probably are in a state where you've amplified the value of other things about her. And for me, those are the three reasons why anybody would ignore anybody that they say they love or they're in a relationship with. All right, either they found somebody else that is taking their attention, or they are out of love. They don't love you anymore. They don't love the woman anymore. Or they've amplified the value of other things, maybe work, maybe spending time with boys, maybe, because when somebody starts ignoring you, it might not necessarily be because they are cheating or they found somebody else. It probably is because they've magnified the value of something above you in a way that that thing demands more of their time. And sometimes it can be their work. When anybody thinks that their work is more important than you, right? Especially if you're a girlfriend that is consistently on his case about money, then it would always be he trying to make more just to impress you. So he feels that the more money he makes, the more impressed you should be. So you shouldn't put a demand on his time. And that's where the challenge is, finding that balance where, yes, you need to make money to make the family comfortable and all that, but you also need to have me in mind and make time for me, so my three reasons for why anybody would ignore anybody is: one, because they found somebody that they are paying attention to, and as such they can't split. You can't cheat and be efficient with your timing. It's not possible. Unless already you've been efficient from the beginning because you've set up a system that works. So she knows that you call her every Tuesday 2 p.m. So then that's it. If it's only when you miss the Tuesday 2 p.m. So if anybody comes into a relationship with you with a system, you should be mindful of it because they've built it around things that already exist or things that can exist later. I'm sure we'll discuss it later, but then for now, you can't be paying attention to other people and be very efficient with the one that you call your girlfriend. It's not possible. So if they stop paying attention to you, these are the three reasons why it's happening. One is because they've given their attention to somebody else. Two is because they are out of love with you, so they don't find the need to pay attention to you. Or three is they've amplified the value of other things or other activities above you. So then they feel that paying attention to those things is more important than paying attention to you. And like I said, maybe because you put on him such a demand to show himself as a man by having a lot of money, so then he feels that working hard and bringing in money should make you happy, which sometimes is not the case. Most times actually is not the case. So Frederick says money. Money. Yaya says inconsistency. And I asked her in what exactly, and she says respect and communication. So you see, respect keeps coming back. Inconsistency, respect, lies. Those are the three main deal breakers that we've seen so far. Inconsistency, respect, lies, and then Yara says communication. So inconsistency in communication, inconsistency in respect. Priska says inconsistency, lack of respect, and stinginess. So I asked her, do you think a boyfriend is financially responsible for you, or are you talking about a general show of care and affection? And she came back and said, it's for both. Isn't love about giving? So if I'm buying the gifts during occasions and you're not doing the barest minimum, then come on. And I said, exactly, of course. I mean, so see, love is a decision you make, and it's exemplified or demonstrated through giving. And giving is not just things that you can give through purchase. All right, there's so many invaluable, priceless things that you can give, which women value above gifts, unless maybe their love language is gifts and you have to keep giving. But then I know personally from experience that women really do value certain things that freely come, for men, like just making time for them, just being present, just listening attentively, not being in a hurry to solve problems that they talk to you about. Sometimes they just want you to listen, paying attention to them, noticing them when things change, because sometimes they go and change their hair and then you don't notice. Those are certain little things that you give as a demonstration of your love, and these things mean more to women, even more than the things that money can buy. Trust me, you can have all the things that money can buy, but when it lacks some of these fundamental things that women expect you to give them, you would probably lose them to some other guy that doesn't have any money to buy the things you've already bought for your woman. So honestly, yes, now the world is making it look as if material things go ahead of everything else. But the truth is, there are people that have all these material things, but they lack the essential things. So there are material things and there are essential things. And essential things are not necessarily like things that you can buy with money. They're things that are available to you. Your time, your patience, your respect, your communication, those things, your noticing her, your cheerleading her, you're holding her hands in prayer, you're supporting her through different stages and times of her life, you're being present in the moment with her, you're not being overly like skeptical and protective and suspecting her everywhere she goes. So those things are very priceless things that women value, and I hope that men would also be able to learn these things. Now Kobna says all the women saying lies, inconsistency, trust and the likes. No, hope you aren't doing what you don't want. Women lie more than men these days, and put your trust on hazard. They will gaslight you and turn back to play victim when they are served with their own dish. Speaking from fact and experience though, clearly you can see that Kobna has issues. He needs a counselor. Because at any point in time, when men and women think they have the same function in a relationship, they've completely gotten it wrong. Even the Bible says that men love your wife. That's what the Bible says, all right? And when it came to the women, what did the Bible say? The demands and responsibilities of the man and the woman in a relationship are completely different. And sometimes when men think that I've done it for you, so do it for me, heavily basing the relationship on transaction, the relationship doesn't last. Because it's good when you give what you get and you get what you give and all that. It's nice. But there are two different people trying to build something that both of them would be happy with. But you should know that the functions are very different. The things that men like are not necessarily the things that women like, and vice versa. But then when you find that, common ground, that's when the relationship or the marriage thrives. All right. So let me just quickly move on. Today I've taken my time because they say I talk too fast. but the deal breakers and compromises. Okay, we've looked at certain deal breakers. For some, it's even the size of the person. Some people, I've heard, in my interactions with women, that there's a friend of mine that is 6'2". She's pretty tall. So one of her deal breakers is that if you're short, you're short. Like she won't even compromise on that. That's it. All right. Another friend of mine's deal breaker is bad breath. All right. So she won't compromise on that at all. I know some friends of mine whose deal breakers are also a man being broke. So, there's so many deal breakers, and some of them I don't think they would even put it out in public because they don't want the backlash of the back and forth. But I've met women who are very clear about their deal breakers, mostly because they've compromised in the past and they've been hurt. All right, they've compromised in the past and they've been hurt. So they realize that what is the point? When I lowered my standard, I was still hurt. So then why don't I just maintain my standard so that if I get one, then I know that this is what I want. But I'm not going to settle with somebody that I don't want and still be hurt. Think about it. But I considered you. and you're hating me. How is that annoying? Can you imagine that you compromised for someone and now he is hurting you, or vice versa? I mean, I'm not just speaking for women, but you know, when relationships thrive when the woman is happy. Marriages thrive when the woman is happy. And that's why it is the responsibility of the man to ensure the consistent happiness of the woman. But it is a responsibility of the woman not to take advantage of that. When you meet a good woman, she recognizes the effort you're putting in to make her happy, and she doesn't overly demand or take advantage of it. And those are the things that I am hoping people will learn. A man's greatest joy will come from a woman he is with who is happy. When a woman is happy, everywhere is happy. There's peace at home, you have peace, the kids are happy, everything is happy. And this is in marriage. Same happens in relationships. If you want one rule to ensure consistency of relationship, is making the woman happy. But only make a woman happy who recognizes the effort you're putting in and doesn't take advantage of it. Okay, only recognize the woman who doesn't take advantage of what you're doing to make her happy, because some people will just do that, and those people who do that really do not love you. They are just in love with the benefits they get of being with you. Know the difference. Kwabena says it's like you're talking for the women. Oh, these days women aren't meek as we thought they were. They are doing worse to men that you can ever think of it. Hits the nail right on the head, my boss man. The truth about what's happening, and I'm not speaking from facts that I've read. I'm speaking from observation and experience. It may be wrong or it may be right. But Kwabena, think of this. If you are a woman and you've been subdued for a long time with this religious notion of you being submissive, and I explained this, I think, in last week's live video. The whole point of women submitting is not a demonstration of, you know, they being lower than the men. And one day I probably would break it down for you to understand. We get the Bible wrong completely when it comes to the protocols that pertains to men and women. But the truth is, if you're a woman and you've been subdued by society, backed by culture and religion for a very long time, and now because of education, advancement of technology, and where the world is going, women are finding their voice. You know, they lost it because of what they went through, but it's not like they never had it. You know, and imagine yourself being a woman that has also gone through all these treatments of men over the years, and when you get to a position where you can actually speak up, are you going to be quiet? And you see, that's the thing that men don't get. Women are more dangerous than men, and that is why it is for your own good as a man not to make a woman angry beyond conciliation. When a woman is scorned, you see, so please, it's not like I'm speaking for the women, but I know the risk we men stand when women are angry with us. So after all these years and all the treatment that have been meted to them and all the, you know, the disadvantages and the things that they faced, now that they are finding their voice, how do you expect them to behave? And if you say they are not as meek as you thought they were, I mean, come on, my brother. Women are not meek, are they animals? It's because of cultural orientation. That is what you saw, that is what you've been taught. So you think that that's what a woman is, but that's not what a woman is. And you think women are like that until it's your sister. You understand? You would not want your sister to be that submissive and meek to men, but you wouldn't mind somebody's sister being like that to you. So if your sister can be bold and speak up against abuse, against all the negative things that are meted to women, then why don't you, how do you not expect other people's sisters to also speak up? But the truth is, you say women are this, women are that, and all those things, and it's only because everything you give them, they multiply it and give it back to you. Women are multipliers, they are nurturers. Everything they get is like a seed. It grows. And then when it's coming out not like the seed you gave it. It's like a full-grown tree. That's why when a woman starts to cheat, you will never know. Ever. But the signs of you cheating is everywhere. And she's already seen, she's not minding you. She's not minding you. But that's how powerful women are. And that's why I think that for a long time they were literally subdued. Because you see, women, they are multipliers. So whatever you give them, when you give them good, you get great. When you give them bad, you get worst. When you give them love, you get affection. When you give them grace, you get peace of mind. Like everything you give to women, you get multiple of it. Do you know that when you marry and you start giving your wife every money you make, you have complete peace of mind? It might not necessarily be something that a lot of people would ascribe to, especially depending on where you are financially. But the truth is, any man that practices this has peace of mind. Why? Because women literally multiply things. And one day we'll talk about that. Today we're talking about deal breakers and compromises in relationship. All right, so let's go back to today. I said it was interactive, so I'll be reading the comments a lot. Priska says, I've forgotten about men that are very controlling. That is such a big deal breaker too. In fact, Priska, if you find yourself in any relationship where the man is controlling, one is because you are allowing it. Okay? Because even deciding to be with him, maybe because you didn't know he was controlling, but the moment you are with him and you still remain in that relationship when you know he's controlling, is because you're allowing it. Because you see, a man that respects a woman will not even try controlling her. And they control you mostly also because they feel that you are less inferior, less valuable, you can speak up, or maybe you are overly dependent on them when they are paying your fees, when they are taking care of you, when they are paying your house rent, everything. So then it's like they own you, sort of. Because you only control the things that you are in control of. I get what I'm saying. Nobody can control something they are not in control of. So then when you put yourself in a space where men are in control of you through maybe finances or even sex, all right, when it's that great, and because you want more of it, you tend to subdue yourself just to, but that one it quickly tears off your eye, because Charlie, it's not because of sex that you're going to die. But sometimes when that good, anyway, we'll come back to that. But nobody can control something that they are not in control of. So have that at the back of your mind. If ever a man is controlling you, he has a cause to, even though it is not legitimate. But you put yourself in a position where he feels he can't control you because he has control over you. I probably am confusing you, but I hope you understand. Okay, so Kobna comes back to say, yeah, good you mentioned it. Women are the most dangerous creatures of our kind. I mean, is it not that you're annoying? They've always been powerful. So I'm surprised you've given them all these privileges. You've given them all these privileges. Where are we? And now they are doing worse things to us. The bad things they claim we did to them in the past or even now, they are doing more than us. But that's the thing, women are soil. When you plant a seed, do you expect a tree? The reason why I'm speaking on their behalf, I'm not even speaking on their, I'm just speaking the truth. Because the truth is, women naturally are not out for vengeance. Women are not naturally out to hurt anyone. You see, they are the most patient people in the world. Like, women can wait for an entire decade just to pay someone back. So they are very patient. So they are not in a hurry to hurt anybody. No, it is literally what you give them that you get back. And sometimes it's not you the one that receives the payback. It's probably another species of your kind, because you probably have been lucky to leave them heartbroken and hurt. So the person that comes next is still a representation of men are scum. So that for me, that's, and I always tell you that these my live videos are not from necessarily research or anything. It's just from experience and then wisdom, because I truly sincerely believe that most women, because of their very nature, are not out for vengeance or violence. They are literally giving you back, not in equal measure, in multiple measure of what you give them. So that's why when you truly demonstrate that you love a woman, there is no way that they will hurt you. It's not possible. It is only when they see an indication that you're taking them for granted or taking them for a ride or you're trying to hurt them that they hurt you back more than you can ever imagine. And I'm sure you've seen demonstrations around. A woman would always give you room for error until you don't deserve that anymore. And unfortunately for you, who is coming after the one that hurt her, she may be treating you badly, not because of you. You are just, they call it a victim of circumstance. So that's all I'm saying. A man is peaceful when the woman is happy. And it's true, you can ask anybody that is in a successful relationship, they will tell you. Okay, so please, I'm speaking for them, I'm just speaking the truth. All right, Ebenezer, hey. Okay, so he says I should preach. Priska says, so your issue is we are doing worse than your kind. I like to say we aren't from you people and we are good students. Hey, from you people. See, this thing, we need to talk about it. Because love is beautiful. Love is nice. When you find love, your life is just beautiful. So I don't see this battle between men and women and battle of sexes and all that. It's just the men are hurting the women too much. So they have also advised themselves. They're not going to be here and die. They are like the lepers at the gate. If we stay here, we are going to die. If we go in, we are going to die. So let's go in regardless. So now they are coming in with vengeance. All right. So very interesting. Priska says, when the sex is good, yes, common says. Okay. All right. For me, I think there are 3 fundamental things that every man should have, and his life will be okay. His relationship will be fine. 3 fundamental things, and I'll share it before I close this live video. Oh, it has gone long. I beg, forgive me. So maybe next week we'll continue with compromises, because I think that a lot of you are also upset with the relationship you are in because it's based on so many compromises. You saw the thing in your relationship. You saw it too. And now the person is like a fiancé and still you are seeing it. And some of you have ended up in marriage and the thing is there. Now it is magnifying. Compromises. At what point is it okay? At what point is it unacceptable? Okay, so join me next week so we talk about compromising. Because we always say that, listen, you have to compromise in relationship. But at what point is it too much? At what point is it unacceptable? You understand? We'll talk about that. Let me read the last comments and then I'll close it off. Kwabena says, but my boss man, there are instances and stories where men never hurt their women, yet they mafia them. Look at how some women are giving other people's children to their husbands and boyfriends. It is not always about we hurting them. If a woman will mafia you, she will mafia you without thinking twice. Okay. I don't know how to explain for you to understand, Kwabena. Like I said, some of you are only victims of circumstance. You are just rebound. So you are suffering rebound effects. Some of you too, they've just considered you. So it's not like they are really that into you. You see, when a woman is into a man, when a woman finds the man that her heart is after, she automatically humbles herself. Like humility comes, submissiveness comes. You see, that's why you as a guy, when you're chasing a woman and the woman says no, don't push it too much. Because you see, you can push and push and push and eventually have the woman no. But the reasons why she was saying no will still be there. So the moment you keep doing things that is like, you know, that's when you see. you're only suffering rebound issues, or you're suffering the hurts and the payback that somebody else should have gotten. You are only a replica or a representation of a species that hurt her, or she's seen it in the home or somewhere. So she needs help, and it's not because of you. It's just a state she's been in, and unfortunately you are just suffering the consequence. Rebound effect. You heard it first here. Some of you are using my terms and my quotes and you're not putting my name there. I don't like that. I will sue you. All right. So I mean, there's so many. I think that we need to, before we actually even get into marriage, it's not just about marriage counseling. We need therapy. We need to see therapists to really help us to figure things out before we get into this thing called marriage. That's why relationships are important. But you people are marrying in relationship, so you're not really seeing the thing well. You are marrying, like you're supposed to be in a relationship. You're supposed to check things. You're supposed to check it when there's distance. You're supposed to check it when there's silence. You're supposed to check it when there's inconsistency. You're supposed to check all those things and be fixing it small. But you people enter a relationship and it's like marriage, and all you do is just be playing the role of wives and husbands. And eventually, when it doesn't go well, you think somebody has cheated you. But like I always say, anything that can end with a text message, a WhatsApp, or even a phone call is not worth that much investment. If you want to give it in marriage, because at least that one, when it ends by law, you get something in return. But for relationship, and I know that people keep saying that it's an agreement and all those things. Charlie, why are you going to waste your time taking people to forget about all those things? If somebody can send you a text and say it's over, and they don't have to file papers, go to divorce court, divorce you, share properties and all that, why are you behaving like you are married? And after that, you come back and say you are hurt. You've moved into his house. Why? Before, you didn't have a place you were laying your head, and now you have come to meet another lady there who has done the same thing you did, but the only thing is that the timing overlapped. You did the same thing, but the only problem is when you got there was nobody there. But when the second person got there, you were still there. So you have to listen to that. Okay, guys. See, I love love. I love relationships, and I think I can't talk about it enough. Mainly because it's a focal point to everything that we do in this life. After all is said and done, you still want to spend the rest of your life with somebody that you genuinely love and want to be there for, and vice versa. And I truly believe that when a woman finds a man she wants, a man after her own heart, she doesn't really struggle to love the man. And the same way with, unfortunately for the men, you can find a woman after your own heart, but if she doesn't see you as a man after her own heart, she will struggle a bit to get to a point where she now sees you as. So that's why you tend to work so hard just to get her to see you as a man after. But even that one, there will be quite a number of checklist things that she will be looking out for, and that's why you are always putting in so much effort. But like I said, if you find yourself putting in so much effort, it's only an indication that there was too much compromise at the other side, and you probably are better off just advising yourself. Okay. All right. So Yaya says women know how to love. Oh, that one is true. Priska says plenty things. a dozen, but I think the fundamentals are true. The less compromise you make at the beginning, or even before you get into a relationship, the better. If you don't compromise too much before you get into a relationship, you don't have to make up for too many things. So some of you are also in a hurry because of age and body clock and all those things, like, what do you call it, all that. But be patient, because your life will be worse off when you enter a relationship that is terrible. All right. So timing overlap. You don't like peace. Oh, but it's true. you came in peace, and you won't allow someone to come in. All right. Cohabitation. is it wrong to cohabitate? You people are always bringing in all these foreign theories, and at the end, you don't know why it's not helping you. You want to cohabitate, then when you marry, to be what? Marriage habitate. Go and cohabitate. When they hurt you, you carry your. You know it's painful when they haven't married you and then you have to carry your things back to you. Cohabitate. I mean, fine. If that's what works for you, I don't mind. But if they haven't married you, what is the point of going to serve as a wife? Let them marry you properly. It's an act of respect. You understand? Don't love someone too much that you will just relocate to their house and serve them as a wife when they haven't respected you enough to come and ask for your hand in marriage. No way. Would you allow your sister to do that? Kobina, you allow your sister to go and cohabitate. If you want, why would you do that to someone else's sister or daughter? Respect the woman enough to go and ask for a hand in marriage. That is the right thing to do. You are talking about our laws and all this. Yeah, you can do it if you want. I mean, hey, it's a choice. Like I said, it's a decision you make, and if you feel that that's what works for you, who am I to say no? But trust me, when a man respects you and wants to do the right thing, he's not in a hurry to get you to play the role of a wife. You know, he wants to do the right thing as well. And the reverse is true as well. You know, when a woman respects you and wants to do the right thing, she is not going to start burdening you as a husband because she believes that you're working towards the good of both of you in the future and in the present. So this is what I have for you today. Red flags and compromises. Red flags and then compromises. I mean, deal breakers or red flags and then compromises. So we'll continue this next week, Friday, looking at the dangers of over compromising. You know, when you are overly compromising just to make up for things, what are some of the dangers that it comes with? Okay, so I'm not saying I'll do it. If you're not saying I'll do it, why are you advocating for it? Who sent you? Who called for you? If you are not advocating for it, don't come and, I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't come and advocate for it here, my brother. But thank you so much for being interactive, Kobina. Thank you for being interactive, Priska, Yaira, and all my homies. God bless you. Aisha, thank you so much. Women have suffered though, and they aren't playing anymore, of course. Anyway, I won't even say, but I think they are just demonstrating the multiplier effect of everything else they've experienced and they've seen. And unfortunately, the men are also getting, I was going to use dumb and dumber, but the other time I said lazy. So if I add this, I'm sure men will just crucify me. So men are getting, you know, more, whatever, just put in the missing. We are reducing relationship to two things, money and sex, and still hoping for everything else that we admire. You should be enough if you have the money, if you have the sex. You should be enough, but you know it's not enough, right? Anyway, take care. Enjoy your Friday. I'll come your way again tomorrow as we talk about health and well-being. Love you all. Mwah.
I wonder if your father was a saint, cause someone stole the stars from the sky and put them in your eyes. Girl, I'm not saying things just to flatter